Picture the most famous miracle in the Bible. The Israelites are trapped. The Egyptian army is closing in. Moses raises his staff, and the mighty Red Sea splits in two, leaving towering walls of salt water on either side. It's an image burned into our minds by Sunday school maps and Hollywood blockbusters. But there is a massive problem with this picture. It never happened. At least, not where you think it did. For over 2,000 years, the world has been reading a geographical typo. The Israelites didn't cross the Red Sea. They crossed something entirely different, and the original Hebrew text proves it. This single mistranslation didn't just change our maps. It hid the true tactical brilliance of the greatest escape in human history. Welcome back. I am the translation detective, and today we are exposing the Red Sea deception. Let's look at the evidence. Let's set the scene. It's the book of Exodus. The Israelites have just fled Egypt after the 10 plagues. Pharaoh realizes he has just lost his entire enslaved workforce and changes his mind. He mobilizes the ancient world's most terrifying weapon of mass destruction, 600 elite chariots plus all the other chariots of Egypt. The Israelites find themselves pinned. Behind them is an unstoppable military superpower. In front of them is the water. For centuries, our English Bibles have told us that this body of water was the Red Sea, a massive, deep, saltwater gulf that separates modern-day Egypt from the Arabian Peninsula. But if we pull out our magnifying glass and look at the actual Hebrew words Moses wrote down, the Red Sea completely vanishes. Let's go to the source code. In Exodus chapters 13 and 14, the text does not say Red Sea. The Hebrew phrase used is Yam Suph. The first word, yam, is straightforward. It means a sea, a lake, or any large body of water. It's the second word where the crime occurs, Suph. Suph does not mean red. Suph means reeds, rushes, or aquatic plants. The literal, undeniable Hebrew translation is the Sea of Reeds. We don't even have to guess what this word means because the Bible defines it for us perfectly just a few chapters earlier. Remember the story of baby Moses in the basket? In Exodus chapter 2, verse 3, we are told Moses' mother placed his basket among the Suph, the reeds, on the bank of the Nile River. You don't find papyrus reeds in a deep, salty ocean. You find them in freshwater marshes, lakes, and riverbanks. The Israelites weren't staring down a deep, oceanic gulf. They were standing at the edge of a massive, marshy, reed-filled lake on the border of Egypt. So, if the Hebrew is so incredibly clear, who put the red in the Red Sea? To find our culprit, we have to fast forward 1,000 years after the Exodus to the 3rd century BCE in Alexandria, Egypt. A group of scholars were translating the Hebrew Bible into Greek. This translation became known as the Septuagint. When they got to Yam Suph, instead of translating it literally as the Sea of Reeds, they swapped it out for a known geographical toponym. They wrote down Erythra Thalassa, the Red Sea. They weren't translating, they were interpreting. They applied the name of the broader known body of water in the region to this specific marshland. This Greek interpretation bled into the Latin translations, which bled straight into the King James Version and eventually into your modern maps. But here is where this gets absolutely thrilling. Restoring the Sea of Reeds doesn't diminish the miracle. It actually reveals the sheer tactical genius of the biblical narrative. Think about the military reality. Egyptian New Kingdom chariots were the Ferraris of the ancient world. They were ultralight, two-man platforms designed for terrifying speed and archery. But they had one fatal flaw. They required flat, dry, hard-packed terrain. God didn't just pick a random body of water to show off. He lured the world's most advanced armored division into a marsh. When the waters returned, it wasn't just about drowning the army. The Sea of Reeds was the ultimate anti-chariot trap. The heavy wheels bogged down in the soft mud. The axles snapped. The text explicitly tells us in Exodus 14:25 that the Lord jammed the chariot wheels, making them drive heavily. A shallow, muddy, reed-filled basin was a tactical nightmare that completely neutralized Pharaoh's advantage. Every translation makes choices, and sometimes those choices paint a picture that hides the brilliant reality of the original text. The Exodus crossing wasn't about defying physics in a deep saltwater ocean. It was about outsmarting an empire in the reeds. Does knowing that it was the Sea of Reeds change how you view the Exodus story? Let me know your verdict in the comments below. If you want to uncover more hidden truths, mistranslations, and the original meanings behind the verses you thought you knew, Hit that subscribe button. There is always another mystery in the text, and the investigation is just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.